In a struggling neighborhood on the outskirts of Chicago lived a young man named Daniel. His childhood was a mess of slammed doors, empty plates, and broken promises. His mother worked 3 jobs. His father was gone before he could walk. And by the age of 15, Daniel had already joined a gang. By 17, he was addicted. Pills, powder, whatever numbed the pain. He robbed convenience stores, broke into homes, sold drugs to kids no younger than he had been when his life started to fall apart. Each night, he told himself he didn't have a choice, that the world had already made up its mind about him. But deep down, a quiet voice, sometimes his mother's, would whisper, "You were meant for more." Then one night, everything changed. During a failed robbery, Daniel was caught. It wasn't the first time he'd been arrested, but this time it was serious. Armed robbery, drug possession, assault. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison. He was 21. At first, prison was just more of the same. Anger, violence, isolation. Until one afternoon, 2 years into his sentence, a guard called his name. A letter had arrived. It was from a neighbor. "Daniel, your mom passed away last night. She spoke of you every day. She said she forgave you, and that she prayed one day you'd forgive yourself." Daniel didn't cry. He screamed, threw the letter, collapsed on the floor of his cell. The one person who loved him unconditionally, gone, and he hadn't even said goodbye. That night, he didn't sleep. He stared at the wall, and by dawn, something inside him shifted. He started attending chapel, not because he was religious, but because it was quiet. He read the Bible, then Buddhist texts. He began journaling, meditating, even helping other inmates learn to read. What surprised him most wasn't how much he had to learn, but how much he had to unlearn. "I used to think strength was how much pain you could give. Now I know it's how much pain you can hold, and still choose kindness." By the time Daniel was released, he was 29. No family, no job. But one thing he had was purpose. He moved into a halfway house, then began working at a local youth shelter. Eventually, he trained as a counselor. Today, Daniel walks into high schools, churches, even juvenile prisons. Not to preach, but to share. He doesn't hide his past. He uses it to show what change looks like. And when a troubled teen looks at him and says, "You've been where I am," he nods and replies, "Worse, and I'm still here. So can you." This is Daniel's story, but it could be anyone's. If you've made mistakes, if you've fallen, just know, redemption is real, and it's never too late, whether it's God or the Dharma or the memory of someone who once believed in you. Let that be your beginning. Subscribe for more powerful, inspirational stories that remind us, even from our darkest places, light can still shine through.